HPE Service Exchange and Jumpstart, transform the IT consumption experience. Next slide, please. Today's webinar is brought to you by Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. Next slide, please. Unfortunately, Robbie is not able to host today's webinar, so I will be filling in for her as your host. My name is Stephanie Concoy, and I'm the Engagement Director for Vivid. Next slide, please. Today's speakers are Ankit Desai, who is the Senior Product Manager for Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Propel. And our second speaker today is Patrick Bailey. He is the Innovation and Industrialization Director for SOPRA-STERIA. Next slide, please. Before I turn it over to Ankit and Patrick, I would like to go over some quick housekeeping. Today's live session is intended for all Vivid members. The recording will be posted in the webinar section on the Vivid website, visible for all members. Additionally, today's slide deck and webinar recording will be made available to you. We will send you the link via an email once the links are posted to the Vivid website. If you have any questions as we go along, please type and send them in using the questions pane in the webinar control panel. And there it is. Here's a picture of the GoToWebinar control panel that usually appears in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. To submit a question, make sure the question pane is expanded, type in your question, and click Send. So let's get started. I'll pass it over to Ankit.
Great. Thank you, Stephanie, and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining in and listening to our webinar. Today I'm going to be presenting, or we are going to be presenting, the webinar on Service Exchange and Jumpstart. The way we are going to be doing this presentation is I'm going to give a short introduction of HPE Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Propel. This is a new product that we are rolling out, or that we have rolled out since last couple of years. So I'm going to be giving a brief introduction of the product. I'm going to be talking about one of the two most important, or very, very important components of Propel, which are Service Exchange and Jumpstart, which really enable IT to customize and extend the experience and add a lot more capabilities from an end user perspective. And then I will certainly give a demo for about 5 to 10 minutes of how we are using Service Exchange and Jumpstart for some of the real-life use cases that we are going to talk about. So I'm going to be talking. So we are going to be presenting about two real-life use cases here. The first real-life use case is going to be around our HP on HP, or some of the Helium managed private cloud services that HPE Enterprise is providing. So I will be showing how Propel is being used to transform the consumption experience for our virtual private cloud offering. And then we have our customer Patrick from SOPRA-STERIA, and he's going to be presenting on how he is using, or SOPRA-STERIA is using Service Exchange and Jumpstart to transform the IT consumer experience from as a service provider perspective. Okay, so that being said, let's start and let's talk about Propel. So Propel, the best way to think of Propel is it provides a single door to IT, or front door to IT, for all the services that IT has to offer. That means whether there are catalog services, or ticketing services, or let's say knowledge services that IT has to offer, or there could be a bunch of back-end applications that IT wants to offer as part of a single front-end or single front door to IT. The way we do it is we use a unique concept called aggregation. So be it aggregation of catalog, be it aggregation of knowledge, tickets, or many other artifacts in the backend, we strive to make sure that all the backend applications and the investments that our customers have made, they stay as is. However, we provide a front door to IT, or we provide a single user experience by aggregating all the data that IT provides in the backend through systems of record into unique systems of engagement from an IT perspective or from an end user perspective. We do provide an open integration. So that means even though we strive to provide as many out-of-the-box integrations possible for various HP and third-party systems, however, we do understand that many a times our customers or many a times other companies, right, they have their unique needs in terms of integrations, be it a custom application or be it any third-party application, which we might not have the integrations for, and that's the reason we provide an open integration platform that can be used by our customers and partners and other HP employees to be able to make sure that they can create their own integrations as possible by the use of our software development kit. And at the same time, we do provide case brokering or case exchange capabilities in a point-to-multi-point format. That means being able to exchange information between different HP and third-party systems with the use of our service exchange platform. And at the same time, we also provide integrations to various cloud services, be it HP CSA or OpenStack platform, right? Or at the same time, working with many of the backend, cloud service platforms. So let's dig a bit deeper into what do we mean by front door to IT and how are we transforming the user experience by providing an extendable portal framework. So one of the key things that we do is, as you can imagine, in this day and age, we want to make sure that we provide a mobile-first experience. We understand that end users primarily are starting to consume services via mobile devices. And that's one of the main reasons that this particular product or the portal that we have is built from ground up for mobile. That means we provide a responsive design out of the box or responsive UI out of the box that allows the end users to consume the portal services on smartphones, tablets, and laptops all at the same time. We have a built-in identity management system that allows for single sign-on out of the box capabilities, so consumers don't need to log in to Propel. They can pretty much, we read into the identity for the consumers based on their either Windows login or many other areas like SiteMinder and so on and so forth. And then we make sure that consumers don't need to log in, but at the same time we provide our role-based access control for our end users. We do understand that themes are very, very important. That means being able to customize and add your own unique branding elements like your logos, like colors, and various aspects of the branding. We do provide the capabilities to add your own themes, to modify the existing themes, or to make a lot of minute branding changes in the back end, so that you provide a consistent user experience for your end users. We do have widgets. So this is the best way to think of widgets is like you are providing a shortcut on your desktop. Right, so you can, but it's a lot more powerful than that. It's not only providing shortcuts, but it also is providing a mashup of HTML5 content. So you can see videos, you can see RSS feeds, you can see, various other elements like calendars, right from the widgets itself. So widgets are a very powerful concept, especially when you start to blend in some of the HTML5 experiences. And we do understand that in the end, standalone apps, or we do understand that the power of Propel will come from some of the applications that we provide out of the box, and that is one of the main reasons we provide some of the best experiences, I would say, for out of the box applications, be it shopping experience, be it support ticketing experience, or be it knowledge experience or knowledge application. At the same time, we provide a lot of administrative applications, which are of course not listed here, but we do have a lot of administrative applications that allow a administrator to add approval controls, that allow an administrator to add additional aggregations, administrating of catalog items. So we do provide out-of-the-box applications, not only from an end-user perspective, but also from an administrative perspective. So we can ensure that administrators don't need to go in, a lot of messy configuration files, and we provide UIs as much as possible for the administrative purposes. And then at the same time, we do have Jumpstart software development kit for really to extend and create new applications on Propel. And I'm going to go into Jumpstart a little bit more in next few slides, but the best way to think of Jumpstart is a framework that will allow our customers to extend the portal applications and create new applications as necessary to be able to provide that single front door to IT or single point of contact for the end users. Okay, so let's jump a bit more into aggregation. So as I said before, aggregation is a unique concept within Propel, and actually that's this concept does not exist in any of the competition, or it does not, and we have actually a lot of IP around it on the aggregation aspects of it. This really allows, this is a unique concept that allows you to provide a intuitive, unified, and consistent user experience for portal. And what does aggregation really mean? Aggregation really means we can add some of the advanced catalog capabilities like bundles, okay, out of the box. That means whether the bundles are at a backend ITSM system level, whether it's HPE Service Manager, or we have any of the competition where bundles are defined, we can aggregate those bundles. But the more powerful concept is being able to create bundles at a Propel level that will allow you to create, let's say, a mashup of offerings from different backend ITSM or cloud systems. So, for example, imagine you're a new employee joining a large corporation, and from day one, or starting from day one, you will need access to some of the basic IT services that IT will need to offer. For example, you need a desktop or a laptop. You will need a, let's say, a desk to sit in, right? You will need a, let's say, a cloud service to store all your documents. And in this day and age, what we are seeing is many of those offerings are spread across different fulfillment systems in IT and different experiences. By using bundles, let's say, you can create, let's say, a new employee bundle, right, where you can have a laptop, a facilities desk to sit in, and a cloud service, all as part of a new employee bundle. So the person will need to come in and just order once, and that's it. Also, we do provide a lot of standalone engaging applications, as I said before, which are leveraging aggregation. That means aggregation of tickets, aggregation of knowledge, and aggregation of catalogs in the back end. We do provide a lot of out-of-the-box aggregation adapters. For example, we have HPE Service Manager, HPE Cloud Service Automation, HPE Service Anywhere, and Operations Orchestration adapters out of the box. We also provide third-party adapters like BFG Remedy, ServiceNow, and Atlassian Jira. We also know that many a times our customers need to not only have out of the box, they not only need to use out of the box aggregations, but they also need to create their own aggregations for some of the applications that are either created custom or the applications which IT may have procured and we might not have all the adapters for. And that's the reason we do have an open concept of creating your own custom aggregation adapters that will allow you to use our SDK and create your own adapters as needed. That being said, let me jump on to what do we provide by Jumpstart and Service Exchange and some of the capabilities that allow customers to extend and modify the experience as necessary. Okay, so in terms of HPE Propel, our concept is extremely simple, I would say. We strive to provide the best user experience possible for our customers. However, at the same time, we understand that all our customers have unique requiremements. We know that no two customers are alike. We know that all the customers have their unique policies and have their unique requirements to be able to serve their end users. And that's the reason that not only we provide the best-in-class user experience, but we also provide the best way possible to extend and customize the user experience that we provide. We understand that that our customers would want to extend and change Propel to build their own features. They would want to manage those features. They would want to add their own aggregations if possible, or integrate with additional applications into Propel as possible. So in order to do that, we provide a unique concepts or components within Propel with the use of Jumpstart and Service Exchange. So it is, in a way, we want to make it very modular and extensible. And the way we make it modular with Jumpstart is we have a concept, we use the concept of microservices. So if you know microservices, you would know that microservices allow autonomous processes in the back end to communicate with each other to provide the best user experience possible. You can, using Jumpstart or using some of the software development kit that we provide, you can actually create your own microservices, okay? And you can configure those microservices to talk to each other so that, again, think of them as Lego blocks, right? Where you can not only take you can create your modular application in any way possible through the use of, let's say, microservices, okay? And then you can extend and customize the application as necessary. So that's the use of Jumpstart, and I'll go into more details what Jumpstart is. At the same time, we want to make the application completely extensible and being able to build additional integrations. So with the User Service Exchange Software Development Kit or SDK that we provide, you can create your own integrations as possible or as needed, okay? And let me go into some of the components like Jumpstart and Service Exchange in a lot more detail. So that will give you a good understanding of what Jumpstart is and what Service Exchange is and how, and then I'm going to show some real life use cases of how we are using Jumpstart and Service Exchange right now to transform some of the consumer experiences. So what is Jumpstart? The best way to think of Jumpstart is it's a framework. It's a framework that allows you to extend existing applications on Propel, and it's a framework that will allow you to create your own applications in Propel, whether it be using or creating your own microservices, or it could be it could be let's say a simple point-to-point integration, or it could be a point-to-multi-point integration. The best way to think of Jumpstart is It's a framework that allows you to build a web application as a collection of either front-end or back-end JavaScript modules through the use of Bower and NPM components. Jumpstart comes with out-of-the-box integration with Propel's own identity management system, so you can enable role-based access control out of the box with all the Propel applications. So let's say if you create a new application, let's say you create your own, I don't know, you have a chat application in the back end, like Link or whatever you use in your organization, and you want to integrate that Link application to Propel. So what you can do is you can use Jumpstart to create your own microservice, okay, that will do a backend integration for Link, right, as a chat application, and then you can create your own user experience through Jumpstart to show that integration at a portal level. And at the same time, by the way, it will come integrated out of the box with identity management. So Propel will know exactly who the user is logged in, and is going to show the same consistent user experience that and role-based access control that is absolutely needed. At the same time, when let's say tomorrow you end up upgrading Propel to a new version, all the upstream dependencies are taken care of with the use of Jumpstart. So Jumpstart will take care of all the upgrades as necessary when you upgrade modules as necessary when you upgrade to a new version of Propel or something like that. The cool thing about Jumpstart is all the Propel web applications are built on Jumpstart, whether it's the portal or various applications within the portal, be it the shopping experience, the knowledge experience, the ticketing experience, the RSS feeds or hot news. Every application on Propel is built on Jumpstart. So it's not just a concept; it is something that we use day to day within our team to build all the applications on Propel. Okay. And then let's talk about Service Exchange very briefly. So Service Exchange, as I said before, it's a management orchestration platform that will enable suppliers to exchange information with each other through the use of case exchange methodology, or you can use Service Exchange for some of the aggregation capabilities so that you can aggregate the data from backend systems and show the data in a unified format in Propel. So Service Exchange, think of it as a unifying integration platform with a open microservice bus that will allow integrations for not only with HPE applications but third-party applications. We have within Service Exchange 3 main components. We have for orchestration, we use HPE Operations Orchestration. We have a message broker that we use many open source components like RabbitMQ. And then we have adapters that will allow translation of data from a backend system like HPE or third-party applications into a common unified data model that allows the applications to talk to each other in a seamless manner. And that is done through the use of translation templates called FreeMarker, and this is all stitched through Java code. So you can imagine Service Exchange is a lightweight version of Enterprise Service Bus that allows allows applications to integrate with each other in a point-to multi-point format. And of course, we can provide more information on Service Exchange or any of these components on request. Please do contact me. And okay, so let's quickly talk about our first case study, which is HPE's Helion Managed Private Cloud, which uses Enterprise Propel or HPE Propel. So what do we mean by Managed Private Cloud? Before we go into Managed Private Cloud, let me go into some details on what HPE is doing in the cloud space. So if you are following Hewlett Packard Enterprise in few recent weeks, you might have seen a news story that HP is no longer playing in a public cloud space, right? We are working very, very actively with Microsoft with its Azure platform to provide integrations, and it's our active partner of choice for public cloud. Okay, but however, for the private cloud services, HP is a big player here. We have currently more than 300 customers for private cloud. Okay, and our private cloud services are spread across about 50 data centers worldwide. So again, we have a very extensive presence in the private cloud environment, and we do provide server storage, networking, security, management software, and portal automation when it comes to private cloud. Okay, and of course, I'm not going to go into a lot more details on what the private cloud is, since I want to focus this session more on Propel and Jumpstart and Service Exchange. So let me move into the next slide. So what are we doing at a Propel level for this private cloud, okay, or this virtual private cloud or managed virtual private cloud that we have? So from a Helion MPC or managed private cloud perspective, what we are doing is we are providing a single user experience for all the managed private cloud services for using HPE Propel as a front end. Okay, so providing a new engaging user experience with advanced cataloging capabilities to the HPE to the Helion MPC. That is one of the main purpose of this particular project. So that the main purpose is to really simplify the end user experience. So users see one look and feel, one presence, right? And they see a single way for advanced catalog capabilities in Propel. And the way we do that is to extensively use Jumpstart for our portal SDK, or Jumpstart, which is a portal SDK, and Service Exchange adapters, which is our backend integration platform, to provide that single user experience. The screenshot that you're looking at here on the screen, the middle screenshot, you'll see this is all based out of Propel. Okay, so you see a banner up on top, you see a bunch of services that we have integrated in the backend through, for example, marketplace, orders, security, operations, the data centers, and so on and so forth. So you can see that with the use of Jumpstart and Service Exchange, we have been able to integrate a lot of legacy backend applications into Propel to provide a single point of contact or single front end for our end users who are coming in. So how do we do that, right? So the best way to think about it is we have created a new Jumpstart application that allows the embedding of the existing MPC applications around storage, networking, and support into Propel. So many of the applications that you hear, right, that around storage, networking, and support, they are all based on legacy applications in the back end, okay? And in order to integrate those legacy applications in the back end, it would have been really time-consuming and cumbersome to integrate that into Propel if we did not have Jumpstart. So we use Jumpstart very extensively to stitch these back-end applications together through the use of their APIs and use of Propel APIs, to provide a single consistent user experience. By the way, we also, in the process, we also leveraged Propel's identity management system to ensure a role-based access control across the entire solution. So with the use of Propel's identity management system, we were able to ensure that the end users see only the stuff that they are supposed to see and they are authorized to see, rather than seeing everything, okay? And then for Service Exchange, what we did was we created a new adapter that enables the integration to various custom fulfillment engines provided across storage, networking, and support configuration. And this really includes the ordering and the management and the extended pricing capabilities, some of the capabilities that Propel brings to the table. For example, one of the unique capability that Propel brings to the table, is around external pricing. So being able to show the most up-to-date and accurate pricing at a Propel level, okay, that is something with the use of third-party external APIs. That is something which we provide with Propel out of the box. And we show that with the use of external dynamic pricing capabilities, we were able to show the most accurate and up-to-date pricing for all the cloud services at a Propel level. The cool thing about this project is with the use of Service Exchange SDK, we were able to compress and by the way, with the use of Service Exchange SDK, we were able to create a new adapter for NPC custom fulfillment. Okay, but the cool thing is we were able to compress about 2,000 catalog offerings, which were earlier provided at an NPC level, into 4 basic offerings. Again, very, very powerful story if you think about it. Earlier, we used to provide 2,000 catalog offerings, right, for a customer who wanted to buy any of the cloud services around server storage, networking, and support. And we were able to compress those 2,000 offerings into 4 primary offerings and extend and make sure that and provided a fantastic user experience to provide a so that from an end user perspective they get the best in class experience, and it's no longer confusing. It's no longer it's no longer they are going to see a list of 2,000 offerings. They'll just see 4 primary offerings, and they can go in and select the options as needed within those 4 primary offerings. Again, if you think about it, it's a very, very powerful concept, and we were able to prove that with the use of Propel on managed private cloud instances. And as I said before, with the use of Jumpstart, we were able to take the existing system, existing legacy applications like networking, storage, and support, and stitch that and provide a unifying platform for at a Propel level, so that users will see one single portal that shows the offerings across virtual and physical servers, as well as networking, storage, and support, all in one user experience. That being said, let me actually, you know what, I'm going to pass on to Patrick at this point of time because in the interest of time, I don't know if I have so much time to provide a real live demo. And I'm going to pass it on to Patrick to provide to provide some information on what STERIA is doing in terms of the Propel.
Okay, thank you very much, Ankit, for that very powerful presentation around Propel. So I'm Patrick Bailly, so leading the industrialization and innovation team for SOPRA-STERIA infrastructure management service line. And today I will talk about how we are looking, in fact, Propel as an accelerator for our transformation program. And I will in fact describe 3 use cases that we are currently developing based on the HPE Propel Service Exchange technology. Just a few words before starting my presentation. So just a few words about SOPRA-STERIA. So we are an IT service provider covering mainly the European market. And as a service provider, so today we are covering all the business around the IT, from an infrastructure management, application management, and business process services, but also we are also an editor. I am currently working for the infrastructure management. So now let's go in my presentation, and let's talk first about the different challenges that we are currently facing too. More or less since now a couple of years, our customer is asking us to extend their data center capability, to extend to the cloud, either for private cloud or for the public cloud. So de facto, in fact, it will multiply the number of integrations that we will have to do in order to be able, in fact, to manage workloads that are on legacy system, but also on the different cloud. The second point is, even if today we have to integrate, or we have to propose the extension of the current data center capabilities to different cloud, we still continue to reuse as much as possible the current asset that we have, in particular for the ITSM, the automation, and the capacity management. I talked previously about the capabilities that we need, in fact, to manage different kind of cloud. For sure, we will have to manage different kind of vendors and to do that integration. And that integration will have to be done in a multi-point manner. So meaning that as soon as we are doing an integration with a cloud service provider, it will be de facto available to all of our customer portfolio. The four bullets in terms of challenge that we are facing too are the portal. So right now, more or less, all cloud service provider, all our customers have their own IT portal. And the combination of IT portals that we have is very huge. But for an end user perspective, it does not make sense. So what we intend to do, in fact, is to have a global layer on top of that. So the idea is not to offer a new portal, but just to have a global view that will aggregate the different information that are today on the different portal. So the aggregation mechanism will be also very important for us, and that will have to be available on the different device that we offer today. So this was the different challenges that we are facing too. Now, in terms of solution, the solution that we develop for managing of that today is based on 3 layers. The first one on the top, as you can see, is the what we call the collaborative self-service portal. And with that portal, the intention is to offer a unique point of contact for the end users, where the end users can, in fact, find within a marketplace the service that it wants to consume, and with the workplace, the capability, in fact, to consume the services. The workplace can be the desktop itself, or it can be a virtual desktop. The collaboration, so in the middle, the collaboration box, is in fact the capability on the service that is consuming, in fact, to collaborate. Collaborate in terms of okay, I need to have more information, I need to learn about my service, or I have an issue, so I need to access to knowledge base, I need to create a ticket, etc. So this is the information that we intend, or the service that we intend to offer to the end user. For sure, it will have to be integrated with our operation framework. So in the middle, so you can see that. So this is the operation layer. And that operation layer will be connecting to the self-service portal in order to offer the service catalog capabilities, so the contents, to offer the capability to integrate with an ITSM for ticketing management or to knowledge information. And that service, that operation layer, in fact, today is composed of three components, and that operation layer, in fact, will be managed on an abstraction layer where we will run our processes, and and it will be connected to the service exchange layer, and the service exchange layer, in fact, will manage the integration with the different either cloud or different workloads that we can propose. So the workload can be in fact today implemented in a current data center. This is what we call the legacy system. It can be virtualized or legacy IT, and we will extend to internal private cloud and to external public cloud like Amazon and Microsoft Azure. In order to do that, so you can imagine that the integration layer will be very important. The integration layer at two levels. The first level is between the operation layer and the self-service portal in order to expose the services that we develop, and also the integration layer at the service exchange level in order, in fact, to integrate our operation to different service provider or different customers. And in fact, we will use HPE Propel as the tooling that will help us for doing that. So what I will present, in fact, today I will present three use cases that we either we developed or we are developing. The first one is related the capability for doing the service integration. So how can I aggregate the information that I have today in the different information system, aggregation in order to propose in one portal to my end users. The second point here, the use case number 2, is about the service routing and case exchange capability. A service exposed at the portal, we need, in fact, to route to the appropriate system. So the system that will provision the service or will manage the service. Case exchange, what we need, in fact, to have here the capability to connect processes together. As soon as we will have to involve in our operation a lot of partners or service provider, we need to secure for a process. We need to secure the path from our ITSM to another ITSM that is managed by our partners. And the third one is about the third use case is about the new application. So the objective, in fact, is to propose new services at the portal level by using Jumpstart technologies. So let's, in terms of service integration, so our key objective, in fact, with that, our key needs as a service provider is to aggregate the service catalogs or ticketing or knowledge that are today available in different sources. And this is particularly important because when we are working with a new service provider, when we are working with a customer, the information is already there. Generally, service catalog are implementing, part of the service catalog can be implemented in the customer information system. When we are working with a service provider, that service provider hosts also his own service catalog. Our objective, in fact, is to be able to aggregate and not to replicate, but to aggregate that information in order to propose in one portal. And we intend to do that for service catalog. We intend also to do that for ticketing, and we intend also to do that for knowledge as well. The different, so for sure, it will the information will come from the different sources. And today, in fact, we did that integration, that aggregation mechanism. So we implement the aggregation mechanism. So we did that integration with HPSM and HPSCSA by using the OOB aggregation, and we intend to do the same with ServiceNow technology. And we will use, as Ankit said, previously, HPE, in fact, HPE will offer some connectors, but as a service provider, we will have, in fact, to connect our system with lot of other ITSM. And today we are working on the integration with EasyVista and QualiPark by using the SDK mechanism. So this is the first use cases that we developed. It's more on the capability, in fact, to aggregate the information that are on the different systems. So the key objective is our solution needs to be non-intrusive. So the intention is not to remove what is existing today on a customer, on a service provider, but more to aggregate and to work together. The second part is more on the backend level by the case exchange and the service routing use. The case number 2 will be more on case exchange and service routing. What we intend, what we need, in fact, is as soon as we aggregate the information that are coming from various sources, we need to route the demand to the right provider or to the right ITSM. So the service routing will be today is very important for us. And the second point that we are working on is to implement the case exchange mechanism. For most of the cases, now more and more, in fact, when we are working on a process, we need to involve third party as well. So the way that we are doing that today is more or less manual, and more and more, in order to secure our SLA, we will have, in fact, to manage that integration and to do it automatically. So we intend, in fact, to use the case exchange mechanism in order, in fact, to synchronize the incident ticket from our ITSM and the partner's ITSM. And that integration today will have to be in what we call multi-point management, meaning that more or less what we are doing today is one-to-one integration. But as soon as we need to integrate with the same service provider, more or less we need to replicate that integration or to reuse what we have done, but the reuse is very limited. With case exchange and the HPE Propel capabilities, the objective, in fact, is in fact not to reuse, but as soon as the integration with one service provider is available, it will be de facto available for all the customers that we work with that service provider. So definitively, it will reduce the cost and the time to deliver that integration point to our customers. So the solution today we are using, in fact, HPE Propel for the service routing mechanism, and we did it with CSA and with SM. We will extend to ServiceNow. In terms of case exchange mechanism, so we are working on that part in order to deliver beginning of next year, in fact, to deliver that integration layer. For the other ITSM, we will use the SDK as well in order to do that integration. And the third use case, so for this one is more at the what we call the innovation level. So it's not today on production, but with that use case, the objective is to develop and to expose new application to our customer through the portal level. The first application that we develop is the collaborative features. more and more, in fact, the support provided to the end user will be digital, and we need, in fact, to offer multiple channels in order to collaborate with the end user. So collaboration between the service desk and the end users. So we started with the telephone, we extended to the email, and now we need, in fact, to also open the door to the chat. The chat could be initiated by the service desk agent or by the end users. So we did that integration with HPE Propel by using the HPE Propel technology. So this is one use case that we developed. So we extend the current capability of HPE Propel by adding new features like chat and avatar tooling. The second topic that we are also working on is to offer for a service desk agent a unified console on top of the different ITSM. One problem that we are facing too is our agent at the service desk level need to work with different ITSM. So logging to an ITSM is required more and more time. So the objective, in fact, is to offer a console on top of the different ITSM in order to manage the different tickets, and in fact to route the ticket to the appropriate ITSM according to some business rules. So in order to do that, so we will use the Jumpstart technology that will allow, in fact, to develop some new application. So this is the third use case that we intend, in fact, to develop. And this is my last slide. So Ankit, if there is any question.
Well, thank you, Patrick. We do have some questions, but we're already over time. So yes, so what we're going to do is with those questions, they will be posted to the Vivit website in a written format in the next week, and everyone will be receiving an email where not only the question and answers will be posted, but also the slide deck and the webinar recording. So everyone will receive an email in the next few days on where those can be found. So thank you for attending today's webinar. Please be sure to complete the short survey after the webinar ends and opt in to receive more information from Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. I am so glad you all could join us for today's webinar. A big thank you to Ankit and Patrick for your wonderful and very informative presentations today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and happy holidays to you all. Thanks again.